Attraction doesn't always announce itself. It's rarely a grand declaration, a sudden, undeniable explosion of feeling that leaves no room for doubt. Instead, it's a subtle, almost imperceptible shift in the air between two people, a quiet hum beneath the surface of everyday interactions. It moves quietly, slipping through moments that feel ordinary until they suddenly don't. These are the silent signals, the hidden language of the heart. When two people are drawn to each other, but neither is ready to say it aloud, the body takes over the conversation, speaking volumes without a single word. Your mind might try to stay polite, rational, or cautious, holding back, analyzing, and overthinking every interaction. But instinct, that ancient primal part of you, often speaks first, bypassing your conscious filters to reveal true feelings. And it does so through signals that are incredibly easy to miss unless you know exactly how to read them, how to interpret the subtle cues. Understanding these cues can profoundly transform your dating life, allowing you to reveal and recognize true, authentic connections. One of the earliest and most potent signs appears through eye contact, a powerful bridge between two souls. Not the casual kind that comes and goes, but the kind that subtly slows time, stretching a second into an eternity. You know the feeling. Eyes meet, and for a split second, the entire world holds its breath, everything else fading into the background. Neither side looks away immediately. Something profound shifts in that pause, a silent acknowledgement of something deeper. The surrounding noise fades, and your awareness narrows to just that gaze, a laser-like focus on the person in front of you. It feels less like simply looking at someone and more like being pulled toward them, an invisible magnetic force at play. This isn't just confidence or boldness. It's a fascinating mix of hesitation blended with undeniable desire, a vulnerable revelation. It's a moment where the mind briefly forgets to protect itself, revealing a raw, unguarded vulnerability that is truly captivating. Often, the gaze breaks suddenly, almost awkwardly, as if one person realized too late they revealed something they weren't supposed to. But then, almost inevitably, it happens again. Another glance, another collision of eyes drawn together like magnets. Your eyes keep returning not because you want to be obvious, but because attraction is a powerful force that overrides conscious intention. As closeness increases, touch begins to enter the conversation, quietly and subtly, a soft, tentative exploration. These aren't dramatic or overt gestures, but fleeting and easily deniable moments, barely there, yet immensely significant. Think of fingers brushing while passing an object, a seemingly innocent contact that sends a jolt through your system, or a hand resting for just a moment longer than strictly necessary during a conversation, a gentle, lingering warmth. A shoulder bump in a crowded space that didn't quite need to happen, yet somehow felt right, felt intentional. These moments feel small, almost insignificant on the surface, but your body reacts instantly, registering every micro-sensation. You might feel a sudden warmth spreading through you, a heightened alertness, an acute awareness of their very presence. What makes these touches so powerful isn't their intensity, but their beautiful ambiguity, their unspoken promise. They live in that sweet spot where neither person has to admit anything or make a big deal, preserving the delicate tension. Your nervous system, however, knows exactly what's happening, registering every micro-sensation, every subtle shift. Touch is one of the fastest ways humans test emotional safety and gauge the depth of a potential connection. When attraction exists, the body finds reasons to reach out, to connect, before the mind can even object or rationalize. It's a silent invitation, a probe into the unspoken connection, a gentle test of the waters, a hopeful reach. Soon after, something even more subtle begins to happen. Movements start to align, creating a silent dance. You might notice your posture shifting in sync with theirs, almost unconsciously a mirroring of their very being. One person leans forward, and moments later the other subtly follows suit, creating a harmonious visual. A sip of a drink is mirrored, a hand touches the face, and the same gesture appears on the other side, an unconscious echo. This isn't conscious imitation for politeness or flattery. It's a deeper, more primal form of connection. It's unconscious synchronization, a deep, primal form of connection, a silent affirmation of togetherness. When attraction is present, your brain instinctively seeks harmony, a sense of belonging, a feeling of us. Mirroring becomes a way of saying, I'm with you, Without ever forming the sentence, a profound nonverbal declaration, it creates a rhythm between two people that feels natural, almost effortless, even if you've just met, a shared beat. At the same time, a subtle nervous energy often begins to surface, betraying the calm facade. Attraction, ironically, can destabilize composure, even for the most confident among us, making us feel a little off kilter. People who are normally relaxed might become slightly restless, fidgeting more, unable to settle completely. You might find yourself adjusting your clothes, smoothing your hair, or subtly straightening your posture, a silent self-check. The body becomes more self-aware, trying to present its best version without drawing attention to the effort itself. This nervousness isn't weakness, it's a profound sign of investment, of truly caring what the other person thinks. When someone doesn't care, their body stays relaxed, unconcerned, completely at ease with the situation. But when they do care, the body prepares, sharpens, and checks itself, ready to make a lasting impression. It wants to be seen, but perfectly, hoping to make the right impression, to captivate and charm. As the connection deepens, attention shifts from the general to the exquisitely specific, a microscopic focus. Suddenly, small stories you told casually are remembered later, with surprising clarity and detail, a delightful surprise. Preferences you mentioned once, almost in passing, resurface unexpectedly in conversation, showing true listening. The other person doesn't just recall facts, they recall context, tone, and the emotion behind your words, a deeper understanding. This kind of memory isn't accidental or a mere trick of the brain. It's a profound act of prioritization. Your brain prioritizes what feels emotionally relevant, what truly matters to you, highlighting their importance. When attraction is present, it begins collecting fragments of the other person, building an internal model, a cherished image. Remembering becomes a profound form of closeness, a quiet way of saying, "You stood out to me, you matter." Even when distance separates two people, this unspoken pull doesn't disappear. It simply changes form. It simply changes form, moving into the digital spaces that now define so much of our modern interaction. A pattern begins to emerge in your online exchanges. If you pay close attention, a subtle rhythm of connection. Messages are read quickly, sometimes within seconds of being sent, an eager anticipation in their response time. Your social media posts are noticed immediately, often among the first to receive a reaction, a clear sign of engagement. Replies arrive faster than expected, and they're often more thoughtful or detailed than necessary, going the extra mile. None of these signs scream attraction on their own. That's what makes them so powerful, so subtly profound. They whisper, they overlap, they intertwine, forming a complex pattern that only becomes clear when you step back. This pattern only becomes clear when you step back and see how often they repeat, how they build upon each other. Unspoken attraction lives in restraint, in the delicate balance where desire meets caution, a beautiful tension. It exists where feeling outruns permission, where the heart knows before the mind speaks, a primal understanding. And that's precisely why it feels so electric, so charged with potential, so full of thrilling possibility. Because nothing has been explicitly confirmed, yet everything is being communicated in the most profound ways. Most people miss these profound moments because they expect attraction to be loud, overt, unmistakable, a grand gesture. But the strongest, most enduring connections often begin in silence, in the quiet spaces, in the subtle nuances. They are spoken through lingering glances, synchronized movements, remembered details, and attention that lingers just a little too long. Once you start noticing these patterns, your interactions will fundamentally change. You'll see the world differently. You become keenly aware of the invisible dialogue happening beneath the surface of every conversation, a secret language. And you realize that long before any words are explicitly exchanged, something else has already decided the direction of your connection. Attraction rarely asks for permission, it simply reveals itself, quietly to those who know how to watch and truly listen with their hearts. So, are you ready to decode the secret language of unspoken attraction and unlock deeper connections in your life?